My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system, which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. Notice: intellectual property theft is particularly egregious and equally unlawful where the sole inventor and creator of the intellectual property is the targeted individual. Erica Lorraine Spencer, subject to the unconstitutional and inhumane government system of gang stalking, otherwise referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices, because of which the intellectual property created by the targeted individual, who is, in fact, Erica Lorraine Spencer, as the intellectual property also proves, serves to establish via evidence and expose the existence of criminal surveillance and thus an inherent threat posed by the U.S. government and the civilian population sharing engagement in the unlawful system. Such evidence that includes all of the content created by Erica Lorraine Spencer, images, videos, audio, etc., belongs solely and entirely to Erica Lorraine Spencer only and is necessarily published online in order to protect her life, safety, and liberty as the targeted individual, who is also the intellectual property owner, no less protected from theft procured through targeting by a public entity. Theft of any intellectual property belonging to Erica Lorraine Spencer, which is necessarily committed while she, being both creator and inventor, remains oppressed by the public entity via criminal surveillance, is a criminal and inhumane means of infringement under all circumstances and not protected nor enforceable pursuant to any invalid or fraudulent acts of copyright, trademarks, patents, etc., including as it pertains to any ideas associated with or generated from the intellectual property or the intellectual property owner, Erica Lorraine Spencer, whether creative, business, or otherwise, nor does the intellectual property owner consent to any such means of infringement and theft. Erica Lorraine Spencer here. The following is an audio version of video evidence that is captured for purposes of mass distribution, which is why I am capturing it and sharing it on the podcast for evidentiary purposes and also to reveal the wealth of documentation that extends beyond what it is that I document on podcasts. Much of the video and images will be published onto the YouTube channel, the P.O.C, and it is also shared on the Google Drive. Again, this is for purposes of revealing what I remain subject to, which is federal group stalking and monitoring. It is a demonic system of state surveillance that the government is practicing in concert with the people of the state, and it should be known and well understood that for the government to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring, this is a crime that is committed with a criminal purpose to threaten the life of an American citizen. This is to conspire to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen while engaging in a perpetual sex offense in concert with the people of the state. Alrighty, these are the demons that are putting Paul Leon out of office. There's impossible light on the wall over here. They're creating what is peculiarized light. They are stalking in an alley, and they're emptying the garbages in Ontario as a means of stalking. This is funding terrorism. Center is being defunded, where the gang stalking. This is the same B Street, Laurel Avenue area where the entity has a fix in the evening, where the airport is stalking and there's no takeoffs. This is demonic behavior.
and it's amplified audible activity that they follow me with, and it's facilitating the rest of the stalkers who are the people of the state. Paul Leon is being federally prosecuted for funding terrorism as a terrorist leader. These are the mentally ill. They're conspiring murder and gang stalking, not emptying the garbage. That's the fake sun that's over me as I'm in Upland, California yesterday at this time, where I'm documenting Landivar gang stalking me in Upland, California at the Upland Public Library, Upland City Hall. And I remain there capturing the fake sun that is stationary over that venue, which is what I capture at approximately 9:47, 9:48 prior to entrance. And it is currently 9:18 a.m. where the fake sun is progressing from the Ontario Senior Center, Ovid Family Community Library, to where I'm going. They're stalking and they're being prosecuted. Their employment is a means of funding terrorism. They're mentally ill while they're engaging in that pattern of conduct, and Paul Leon is going to be prosecuted for it. This is the U.S. military that's maintaining a surveillance system in Ontario. Those are the ones that are doing, by the way, cartwheels and dipping in commercial planes. If you've ever flown on a plane, you are not subject to that sort of gymnastics on a commercial plane. There are no passengers. Those are those homosexuals who are triggered by me as I speak the truth about their demon possession that is manifesting in perverted conduct such as homosexuality while they're stalking me, and they've been embarrassed just because they're shown to be nothing other than gay stalkers who are going to prison for treason, and that there's no spiritual power in being a homosexual. This is the pattern of conduct. The entities engaged in this stalking me in dumpster trucks, which is mentally ill behavior. And this is speaking to the mental illness, the demon possession, the public corruption, the domestic enemy. That is Paul Leon while the fake sun's over me in Ontario. And at the same time, it's over me at the Upland City Hall, which is speaking to Bill Velto as I'm exposing domestic enemies where they are gang stalking, which is speaking to public corruption. This is P.O.C. This is what the mentally ill are doing in all their households. They're all stalking. This is the city of Ontario, and the entity, as you know, stalks me in the planes and in the helicopters en route while the fake sun is speaking to what the entire city is engaging in, speaking to what is occurring in the adjacent city where the sun is now deviating from what would be in a natural environment. And that's if you weren't paying attention, because before Upland is gang stalking me, I'm documenting the pattern of conduct in other places, such as in Los Angeles. The entire state is being prosecuted while the city of Ontario are demons that are engaging in that P.O.C. on yet another day. This is the prosecution of the people who are engaging in treason and furtherance of murder of an American citizen levying war, and they will be subject to martial law. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:20 a.m. He's stalking. You see the fake sun off the rear windshield, and you hear the plane activity. That's the military flying right over by helicopter. Remember, the sun's over Upland Public Library right now, and Ontario Fire Department are stalking right here. This is terrorism. Michael GERKEN's being prosecuted for treason. Mike LORENZ is being prosecuted for treason. The people of the state are being prosecuted for treason, and these are the idiots that keep engaging. This is what they were doing while the homosexuals were frustrated and triggered about the truth regarding their homosexuality being a product of demon possession. 8 Thomas Jerry Yolanda 184. And Michael GERKEN is stalking with fire trucks. You'll see as I walked here during the 9 a.m. hour, they were stalking in the path in front of the El Pollo Loco. They put another fire truck while they're keeping me under surveillance inside of DD's, where the psychopath that works there is stalking me with noise in the store. And the entity has the fake sun over. The demons of Ontario Fire Department are stalking with a fire truck in front of me while they fly over by helicopter. This is how you levy war against an American citizen. Doing so using commercial planes where there are no passengers on that. There is no published flight regarding Southwest Airlines landing on Hope Boulevard right here over the subway. This is all housing. These are the demons that just engaged in what is stalking by helicopter. They're stalking by planes. There's also no flights taken off with Southwest Airlines in Upland, California, or in Fontana, where they're also stalking me. This is the entity that's engaged in what is psychopathic behavior. They are openly displaying their severe mental instability. That's a threat to national security, which is why a population is gang stalking. This is actually the entity that's mentally ill that is acting out of fear. The mentally ill are psychopathic, and they engage in dangerous conduct to other people when they are fearful regarding your knowledge that they are demons, meaning they're not human. They want you to practice perverted things such as homosexuality, which is demonic. Demons do that. This is bestiality, pedophilia. Demons do that. And that is what is stalking in fire trucks, by the way, stalking in helicopter and in commercial planes. And everybody that's in this venue where you just saw that and witnessed that, they're all stalking right now. And they're all engaged in that pattern of conduct while that just happened. None of them are ignorant. Okay, that, like I stated, is not headed to any destination. Southwest Airlines stalking in the sky space, just like Amazon Prime did, during the 7 a.m. hour and still over me. That's on video while I'm at that side of the parking lot. Amazon Prime is being prosecuted for treason, and so is Southwest Airlines. What is stalking me, where the fake sun is located, is the evidence against Southwest Airlines, headquartered in Dallas, Texas, where there's not two suns reflecting off of this windshield with gang stalker 9XQY174 who's being prosecuted, and also any sun in what is Dallas, Texas, okay? This is the prosecution of everyone at the same time. What is the display, the ongoing exposition regarding diagnosing mental illness and the demon-possessed that are engaging in the mentally ill system of gang stalking. This is the same Southwest plane that engaged in, like I said, there's not a destination, and they're engaging in that with Michael GERKEN. That's essentially Mike LORENZ. That's the U.S. military. These are homosexuals whose mental illness is not only manifest through their homosexual conduct, but it's manifest through their stalking me, their obsession with me, okay? The entity that is triggered by me engages in psychopathic means of stalking me. And this is letting you know, as I trigger demons around me, letting you know what surrounds you. They are demons, and they're engaging in criminal surveillance in the U.S., and this is the purpose of what the United States government is engaging in, and it is treason. They're engaging in what is war against American citizens in the United States with those that are outside of the United States, and with corporate entities that are also, by the way, incorporated, foreign companies that are engaging in what is equally terrorizing and war conduct, while you just center it around a capitalistic endeavor such as a corporation, a company. This is P.O.C. These are the idiots that are giving me this level of evidence. The fake sun is over Upland Public Library yesterday. This is where I'm at yesterday. So the entities engaging in what is exposing themselves, they're being committed. Michael GERKEN, he's not just being prosecuted, he's going to be subject to what are involuntary commitment. That's the population that's engaging in this psychopathic behavior. Acting like you're a family and you're minding your business, just going to the store. Acting like you're just an employee. Acting like you're just in the parking lot. Acting like you're a firefighter or police. All of this is mentally ill. They're all monitoring. This is nothing other than the surveillance system. And they have put themselves in this predicament, which is martial law, necessary for what is the ongoing involuntary commitment of a population that's conspiring the murder of the American citizen that is prosecuting them. This is P.O.C. These are the casualties of demon possession. And if you think that homosexuality and promiscuity is merely a fetish, you have been deceived by Satan. Demons, by the way, not humans. Demons want you to practice demonic behaviors, such as the perversion of that which I'm just referencing. And that's what's stalking me. Perverts, sex offenders, and they're stalking you, they're monitoring you. This is P.O.C. It is currently 11:37 a.m. at the same Ontario Village Shopping Center. You know who's in Stater Brothers going to prison? Lupe, that was following me all around the store, she's going to prison. And she's going to be subject to what are involuntary commitment. She's going to be assessed psychologically regarding her mental illness that is already exposed by virtue of gang stalking. She's under the fake sun during the 7 a.m. hour, where Southwest is doing the same thing that Amazon Prime is doing, while she's exhibiting mental illness of a psychopathic nature that's a threat to herself and the public, while she is engaging in this pattern of conduct, and she wants to appear as though she's focused on her job. And she's actually trying to murder somebody else and psychologically torture them. That's on video as well. Okay, the entities engaging in that, and this is what they volunteer. They're more obsessed with me than they are concerned that they're going to prison and they're going to mental institutions. There are literally facilities being built right now in order to lock down the mentally ill, who are the demon-possessed gang stalking entity. This is P.O.C. in California, 11:37 a.m. That's Pacific Daylight Savings Time. So what is in Florida is not the same object, and this is how you know that the United States is having a meltdown. The demons that are engaging in what is exposing themselves, where they're engaging in psychopathic pacing. This is a ritual, and their ritualistic behaviors are relevant to what are their mental illness that's shared and exposed as a community. P.O.C. Alrighty, this is the entity that is engaged in, this is where you recognize that mental illness, and the simultaneity, me pointing out a demon that is stalking me, is not a coincidence. It's actually light activity, but it's also knowledge of documentation. She's equally demonic and psychopathic, stalking with light, while the fake sun is over me, while Amazon Prime is doing what Southwest Airlines was doing over there at the center of the 7 a.m. hour. These are the homosexuals, okay? Homosexuality is not based on her kissing a woman. It's the fact that she's obsessed with the woman that she's stalking. License 8, Apple Kelly Paul 770, another uncloseted psychopath, demon, and homosexual predator. Okay, stalking just like the demon here. This is stalking with light, not reversing. Under the fake sun is P.O.C. with the U.S. government that's stalking, like you're witnessing the mental illness that they share in 9 Mary Nancy Xavier 371. I'm here during the 7 a.m. hour in Amazon Prime, Mr. Bezos, who is going to compensate me on a basis that has yet to be contemplated under the U.S. Constitution regarding what is the satanic means of conspiring my murder with the world, because it's not just the U.S. that Amazon Prime is conspiring with, while I am at the same location in the same position during the 7 a.m. hour, and Amazon Prime is stalking by virtue of what is the evidence of science and the pattern of conduct by the demons who are the U.S. military that provide evidence against Bezos and Amazon Prime. Bezos is a terrorist leader, and Bezos is going to compensate me, and I'm going to prosecute for what Bezos did not fathom, which is criminal activity that he is responsible for, while an unmistakable pattern of conduct is underway by that company, represented by that logo. That's engaging in what is psychological torture in concert with the U.S. military. That's not a business. That's a federal RICO case in furtherance of murder. 9 Nancy Victor Frank 407, 9 Nancy Larry Paul 632, 8 Nancy Edward Frank 167. That's called psychopathic pacing. Okay, that's what they did right now with the Southwest Airlines plane, the helicopter over my head, the entity getting into position, the vagina monitors of Michael Gerken in the Ontario Fire Department, and they're doing so. In the video that you're going to compare with, because it's not a contrast. This is the demon that's pacing. The entity has what is Amazon Prime stalking during the 7 a.m. hour, and Lupe is stalking in the path just like he's stalking. 9 Jerry Indiana Henry 347. This is the mental illness. This is going to be used to have the demon possessed committed, which is the position that they are supposed to be in, they need to be in for the protection of the American public. But you're talking about what is 8, 9, 10, 4-hour difference, and this is the fake sun that's over me, and that's the identification of a stalker. And Amazon Prime facilitates this violence amongst the population and a U.S. government because I'm in the U.S.A. Amazon Prime is engaging in this in Europe. Amazon Prime is engaging in this in Asia. Amazon Prime is engaging in this across the globe. And Amazon Prime is going to compensate me for targeting me in concert with the world while it is engaging in what is treason. Okay, this is a never before contemplated basis for damages that as a matter of justice serve to devastate, if not entirely deconstruct, a terrorist like Amazon Prime. This is P.O.C. This is the fake sun over me while I'm outside of El Pollo Loco, where you've already seen the entity that are the terrorists. They're already being prosecuted. This is going from the government vicariously, to the government commercially. Okay, so in other words, the people of the state are already taking care of your prosecuting the businesses. And don't forget where Amazon Prime is stalking at this El Pollo Loco. And the fake sun is hovering over the top of that El Pollo Loco. That's on the record as well, while Mr. Bezos is targeting me. This is P.O.C. This is the fake sun over me, and this is the entity that is providing that level of evidence. Do you want to know why they just engaged in that very clear, obvious engagement of what is an ambush stalking, which I'm going to prosecute for? It's because they're scared. And it's also because they're demon-possessed homosexuals. It's both at the same time. This is P.O.C. What is nothing other than stalking? Southwest Airlines isn't headed to a destination over there. They're stalking. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, it is currently, like I stated, 11:48. Stalking into a restaurant and a restroom is mentally ill behavior, and the population is being prosecuted for it. P.O.C. All right, they're not men. That's not a man. It's also literally not a man. It's a demon. They're an engineer light. This is P.O.C. All right, this is the entity stalking. I'm on San Antonio, so they're going out of their way, flying, not on Euclid, stalking me while I'm going to Upland. This is what I documented yesterday while they were stalking me coming from Upland. The U.S. military, these are the mentally ill. Their homosexuality is a product of mental illness and their obsession with stalking me. And who else is stalking? At El Morado in San Antonio, 740, a so-called U.S.C mom. She's a demon. They're engaged in criminal monitoring, and I'm prosecuting them while the entity is stalking me by helicopter. 9 Uncle Wendy 212, 5 Wendy Frank Sam 492. They're engaging in the criminal path. The fake sun is over what is their facilitating venue, not a private property, and they're co-conspirators in the U.S. military's ongoing regarding committing murder. They have killed their own prospects regarding concealing the fact that they are a cult of homosexuals, engaging in what is failed witchcraft, stalking and doing so, and stalking because they have failed. Now they're obsessed with me while they cannot sacrifice me. This is the entity that is engaging in, and again, if you don't understand, the entity that's engaging in what is sexually perverted conduct, which is homosexuality, promiscuity, pedophilia, bestiality, engaging in what is obsessively stalking someone. These are tactics of witchcraft. That's what the entire state of California practices, and they do it while they target that person under a fake sun. I'm in Ontario. I'm not in Upland. The evidence shows that the entity is keeping the fake sun over Upland. That's why the cult members, the vagina monitors of Upland police, were stalking me as I walk out at 6:58 p.m. yesterday. The two aren't happening at the same time. But what is happening? While it's not, it's reflecting off of a gang stalker's rear windshield. The fact that science is showing it's not an Upland over the roof. They're not sitting in sunlight. Those are psychopaths that are sitting around staring at the computer, staring at the desk, staring at books, staring at each other, when they're stalking me. They're psychotic. This is the mentally ill population that's going to be prosecuted accordingly. This is P.O.C. This is where martial law is going to rain down. It's going to terrify the terrorists themselves. There will be, how do you engage in what is prosecuting and locking up a population? Martial law. P.O.C. This is the fake sun moving over a facilitating venue. It's not private property. And Starbucks that's engaging in what is kidnapping with the Ontario Police Department, they're going to prison. This is P.O.C. P.O.C. That's City of Chino, 1670936. Vehicle looks like 586 Chino coming into Upland. Oh, no, this is Ontario. To stalk me, okay? Word is out that they're going to prison, and so are the demons of Chino Police Department. They engage in criminal summoning at the Chino Branch Library, San Bernardino County, gang stalking as demons under the fake sun, SG S8748, POC. This is 6th Street and what is San Antonio Avenue, and that's speaking to the cult members, all the homosexuals stalking me by planes and in helicopters, flying over me through the neighborhood of the people of the state, the domestic terrorists engaging in surveillance under the fake sun that's reflecting over the rear windshield on San Antonio at what is 6th Street, doing so in the city of Ontario, approaching the city of Upland. That's Chino police that are gang stalking, and you already know that because Chino police are already prosecuted on my social media. That's the POC. They are gang members that are also being simultaneously prosecuted while there's no sun at all in Chino, while it's remaining over me over the demons in Ontario, in Fontana, and in Upland. This is POC, 8AKP684. Sex offenders, and they're engaging in what is molesting me with impossible light. And those are the demon possessed that are part of the other gang members that are in Chino, California. Chino police are a bunch of gang stalking vagina monitors. They're stalking me as well. That's why this is over me. And it's not over the Upland Public Library, like it was yesterday. Okay, this is not the natural environment, and none of these are natural people. These are demons, including Chino police. That's POC. Here's the fake sun over me, not over them. It's over the sidewalk, not over the street, not moving at their speed limit, moving at mine. At the same intersection that I was at, while the Upland Police Department, Landivar specifically, number 2908, and how do you know that he is stalking? And how do you know that he is stalking me, contrary to his outward demeanor and activity, which is deceptive and malicious with regard to gang stalking committed in furtherance of murder, the treasonous criminal pattern of conduct by the U.S. military that has been documented all morning, stalking me in an entirely different city, in Ontario, in fact, where yesterday I'm already in this city, having already documented stalking by a police officer, which is a police department engaging in what is the supernatural. In video, the city of Upland is gang stalking in a vehicle that is paid for by the city. That's gang stalking. I'm on this property. The fake sun is moving over the top, and it's still doing the same thing. What is hours later? The amplified plane activity here in the background is relevant to the same U.S. military that is gang stalking via the city of Upland that's going to be subject to martial law, as I'm documenting scientific evidence to make sure that that is the case with regard to what is justice, where the United States is levying war against an American citizen. This is impossible to be the case, and this is the evidence capturing the impossible, which is putting Landivar in prison. Landivar is a psychopath. He is stalking me, and the evidence of a fake sun is the proof of it. You do not have that supernatural occurrence where you are genuinely seeking to help who are actually the people of the state stalking in this environment that is deliberately maintained around me while I'm subject to that targeting system. This is evidence that the sun was not remaining over the Upland Public Library, that it was remaining over me in Ontario, contrary to what I documented yesterday while I'm already in this building. When I left this city yesterday evening at 6:58, when the same department is stalking me by being in my presence in the path as I walk out of this building where this fake sun is still aimed over me while I walk outside of the doors of this library. All of this is surrounding, and the conclusion is that Landivar is going to federal prison, and the entity that's gang stalking me is doing so in this environment where I'm showing you the impossible, the same thing happening hours later, which is not the natural environment. And it is also exclusive because the sun is not in Florida while I'm showing you evidence of what is the fake sun. This is the 1 p.m. hour. It's 1:24 p.m. and during the 8 a.m. hour, this fake sun is over doing the same thing as I'm walking up North Euclid Avenue, and Landivar is gang stalking me as I show you the malicious pattern of conduct of gang members who are disguising themselves as stalkers using police uniforms and police vehicles and exercising authority under the law fictitiously while they are engaging in what is criminal surveillance. And they're doing that in furtherance of murder, and like what they are engaging in vagina monitoring inside of the bathroom with the sex offenders who are the people of the state. They're all stalking as a community as well. All right, this is the entity that's going to be, they are being psychologically assessed while they're being convicted for terrorism in the United States. This is P.O.C. It's currently 1:24 p.m. where the demons that are gang stalking are already here at 10 o'clock waiting outside of the doors of this library. And that fake sun is sitting over the building. But when I'm in Ontario, that fake sun remained over me in Ontario, and it's arriving now. This is defying common sense, logic, nature, and science. Those are demons that you're looking at stalking me. They're not concerned about their kids. They're not concerned about their mates. They're not concerned about their jobs. They're concerned with surveillance. And the Upland Public Library, the Upland City Hall, is the City of Upland gang stalking and furtherance of murder. And for that, this city is going to be defunded. This is a criminal enterprise, and it's going to be shut down. This is P.O.C. It's 1:25 p.m. Landivar is going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. Excuse me, this is P.O.C. It is currently, by the way, where I am present in the morning. The entity has the fake sun as I am walking down the same street where the entity, the people of the state, are engaged in criminal monitoring. The pattern of conduct is seen where you see that impossible light activity. They're stalking. Stalking is very specific and it's very personal. Every single last third party are stalking in this environment where you're looking at what is impossible light. Remember, the fake sun is not only a fake sun, but it's on the driver's side of their vehicle. So while their passenger side is facing me, the impossible light is traveling underneath the covered structure, okay? This is a stalker. And this is the entity. It's the population, and these are a population of demons. They commit murder. This is a criminal enterprise, not a city, not a state, not any United States. The United States is engaged in the business of systematic murder, where they maintain criminal surveillance through everyone, of everyone, everywhere, at all times, and they engage in murder. Murder for hire, murder for profit. This is the city of Upland. This isn't even the demons in Ontario who know that they're under martial law. They know they're on lockdown. And the more that I document, the more that I speak the truth, which is speaking to their knowledge, the more spectacular the light activity. Did you notice that? How subtle it was at the beginning? The more and more, because that is tantamount to the threat posed. This is stalking in a driveway. There's no traffic either obstructing them. Either that's 7-Eleven and those employees are going to prison. They're stalking in the path. I'm at this location in the morning where Upland police are stalking, conspicuously stalking by driving on the streets. This is going to prosecute Upland police who think that they're safe to stalk me on the roads and the highways. They're going to prison. What do you think the people of the state are doing during the course of a traffic stop where they are stalking? Under a fake sun. The fake sun that is on the driver's side of their vehicle, that would create a blockage of light, not the creation of light that's coexisting. That is speaking to, you're monitoring me. And they're demons that are monitoring. It's supernatural. And this is the same path I walked down this morning where the entity had the fake sun as I arrived after I arrived yesterday. And who's going to prison? Say it with me. Landivar. Landivar of Upland Police is going to federal prison, and he's going to be subject to mental examinations as his mental illness, which is a threat to the public, while he represents a police department that's engaged in systematic surveillance in order to get away with stalking conspicuously like he was during the 8 a.m. hour where the sun would never be over me at the same location. That is speaking to the ability to diagnose as I am convicting gang stalkers that thought that they were going to sacrifice me and then defame my character and then run off into the fake sunset with all of my money and assets. This is where the U.S. military is stalking me. Southwest Airlines, UPS, in the city of Upland. You know why? Because the city of Upland is engaged in the criminal conspiracy to commit murder. This is prosecuting the business, which is prosecuting the city, which is prosecuting the population, which is also speaking to what is necessary, martial law. 9 FWW 737. This white woman is out of her mind. She's bat-blue crazy. She's pacing. She's a psychopath, and the demons are becoming increasingly erratic and manic. This is what's happening with regard to the light activity as you measure it while you see the pacing. The ongoing activity under the fake sun that's aimed on me. They're mentally ill. They commit murders. They're keeping your genitalia under surveillance. Them and the children that they give birth to who are demons are sex offenders. Out the womb, they're sex offenders. They're perverts. They're keeping your genitalia under surveillance. They're all demons. Demons don't have an age. They don't have a race. They don't have a demographic. Demons are hiding in their children. Demons are hiding in them. They're hiding in demons like Landivar wearing police uniforms. I'm going to strip that demon of that uniform, and he's going to federal prison. Because his mental illness is what is being displayed while I'm being gang stalked on the same street where he's present at 8 o'clock in the morning. So let's get these sex offenders over here stalking on behalf of the city. This is where Union Pacific is gang stalking on the Metrolink train station, on the Metrolink train lines. This is not a church. This is Satan's church. This is stalking. This is pacing, not trying to park. This is a psychopath. And you're diagnosing it, and you're going to prosecute. Okay, this is P.O.C. 7DXV486, gang stalking and furtherance of murder. This is white people stalking a black woman, by the way. Demons don't have a race, and they're absolutely psychotic, and these are the homosexuals that I told you about, obsessed with my vagina. While you're married to somebody else, while you're pregnant by him, he's a doctor, he's a demon. This is the entity that's stalking me. This lily white demon is gang stalking, license 9 Frank Wendy 737. P.O.C. while I'm outside and they're stalking me, you know why? Because your identity is not the color of your skin. They're over here engaging in what is worshiping Satan at a fake church where their demonic children are attending preschool, and they even drop them off gang stalking me under the fake sun in the morning. This is P.O.C. Everything about me is why they are here. The United States is engaging in nothing other than surveillance. Nothing other than surveillance. This is P.O.C. How many of these are the homosexual military that are stalking by being present in my path? This isn't even a real church. They're a bunch of demons, and they're a bunch of homosexuals, which is demon possession. RNCHORB, P.O.C. All right, this is where the fake church is present. This is where the entity is gang stalking by the commercial airline companies. And they're engaging what is stalking with light. And what do? All they can do, all Satan can do is just sit up and just act like it's not happening. And while they do that, this is the same method that's going to be used to have them committed. They're going to be committed with their psychopathic behavior while they're gang stalking, which is psychological torture to the ordinary targeted individual that's not equipped to encounter or deal with or even understand what they're subject to. And it is domestic terrorism. They're going to be prosecuted for treason. They're going to be prosecuted as the entity that is levying war against you, keeping you under surveillance, violating you sexually, stalking you like mom and daughter are inside of the Upland Public Library. They're out here monitoring my vagina while those demons pace in and out of that bathroom. This is the P.O.C. This is the humiliating pattern of conduct that the entity is going to be prosecuted for. And it's prosecuting those that are outside of the United States. And it is speaking to what is a prosecution for treason while the United States is engaging in what is levying war against American citizens, aiding enemies that are keeping us under surveillance outside of the jurisdiction of the U.S. And by the way, 7-Eleven employees are going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:11 p.m. where the sun never reached Florida because it stayed on Euclid Avenue today. P.O.C. Alrighty, this is the people who's going to prison. This license plate, they're going to prison. This is P.O.C. This is the threat to my life. The entity's stalking by helicopter right now. You are not free to engage in this, and you're going to prison. 9WLD262, license 6RML601. And this is the entity stalking by helicopter, just like they were this morning. They know exactly who I am, and this is stalking, regardless of their ultimate destination. The entity that's under a fake sun is stalking you. The entity that is stalking with the government is stalking you. They're going to prison. And they're also demons. They are all stalking. This is P.O.C. Let me show you the fake sun, because they are indeed going to prison. Both of them are documented. P.O.C. Here's the fake sun, where I'm present at 7th Street and Euclid in the morning. And these are the geniuses that were stalking this morning, flying over my head as well. And that's what they were doing last night. They're going to prison. I just documented the license plate. 9XXU809. And Marcelo Blanco, he's going to be federally prosecuted. He's going to lose in that prosecution. He's already losing right now. He's going to prison. The entity, Bill Velto, he's not staying in office, and he did commit kidnapping in 2022. He's standing trial right now. He doesn't understand that, but he's standing trial right now, and he's looking like he's about to be convicted. It's going to occur officially as a matter of record within the 4 walls of a tribunal. I'm letting you know right now he's going to be convicted. The entity is engaging in what is terrorism. What do you think Andy Tuckerman is doing inside of the Upland Public Library all day long? He's going to federal prison. Gang stalking me and monitoring my vagina with a bunch of kids inside of a library with a bunch of sex offenders that give birth to those demons, monitoring mentally ill psychopaths under a fake sun that is still in Upland, California, where I'm at this intersection in the morning. And they are engaging in this surveillance, which they're going to prison for. And they are the people that are engaging in this surveillance in the United States in concert with enemies outside of the United States. They are absolutely going to prison for the entity gang stalking me by helicopters. That is them engaging in that violence together. And they think it's funny, and they won't when they're sitting in prison, because that's exactly where that third party is going. Those license plates that I'm documenting right now in this video, they're going to prison. P.O.C. license AEBG739. This is P.O.C. This is light activity they're monitoring. That's not sunlight. over here on the off-ramp. This is light activity because they're engaged in gang stalking. Gang stalking is levying war against an American citizen. And in response to that, the people of the state that think that they can levy war are going to federal prison for it. That's the pattern of conduct. The entity just flew over my head, very much targeting while you're stalking at the traffic light. All right, that's the P.O.C. They're all engaging in that conduct, and they conspicuously do so. While the entity is stalking me as I'm documenting at night, I documented this morning while I'm walking on San Antonio. And what are they doing? Flying and stalking while I'm walking through the neighborhood of the people of the state. The demons are going to prison, and they have handed over their liberty, and that is good for you. For you to understand what's going on in the United States is for you to understand what's going on around the globe, because the United States does this in other countries around the world, while the U.S. tells us and puts out propaganda that it is U.S. interest. The U.S. interest of the demon-possessed is to engage in targeting innocent people. Where demons are around the globe targeting the children of God, targeting those that they want to kill and steal their money, their wealth, where they might not even know that they are wealthy. They might not even know their royal bloodline. And this is the terrorism that they're committing across the globe. And you're going to prison for it. I hope that you understand that, because this is representative of what is not only the entity, but it's representative of how you're being prosecuted. I documented you gang stalking with the police. You can anticipate getting locked up. So you need to stop stalking me and figure out what you're going to do, because you're going to prison. It's sitting on the record, and it's not going anywhere. You are going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently 7:28 p.m. All right, it is currently, they're monitoring with Securitas while under the fake moon. This is Leo that's engaging in what is the ongoing daily psychotic behavior of, this is a demon. So the light activity you saw in Upland on video, he's doing so while I am at the Ontario Civic Center, the same conduct, stalking me and surrounding me with this impossible light activity while I'm on my communication device. He's monitoring me, but this is also a demon that's engaging what is harassment and targeting. He has this obsession with me, and he's engaging what is stalking me. This is the Ontario police who are hostile, so these demons do so vicariously through psychopaths who are demons like Leo. This is Securitas is going to be prosecuted for ongoing terrorism while a domestic terrorist is wearing a Securitas uniform and gang stalking. Doing so on the job. They're stalking together. This is P.O.C. That's Leo that's over here walking toward the venue. He's engaged in what is stalking me with impossible light. And as I document that, while he's also on the golf cart, he's doing so while he's leaving on the job. So I want to document the P.O.C. This is the demon that's engaged in this ongoing documented acts of harassment and terrorism on the job. And he's doing so while he is targeting me and obsessed with me. Okay, so this obsession is speaking to what is hostility. And it's speaking to his mental illness. Okay, this is him sitting on the bench, and then he's on the job. So I'm going to prosecute Securitas. All right, this is P.O.C. All right, so he's stalking me and molesting me with light, but he's running away right now. This is the pattern of conduct. He's monitoring as well. This is P.O.C. They're stalking with light. This is the entity that is gang stalking. I'm going to prosecute a mentally ill person who's engaged in what is targeting me with light, and he's running like a coward. Hi, excuse me. Is Leo here?
Yeah.
Okay, Leo, is there a reason why you keep targeting me with your flashlight? Is that what that is? Are you mentally ill? You want to be prosecuted for harassment? So you're really psychotic, you're going to do it and then act like you don't know what's going on? You know you're going to be committed, right? You know you're going to be committed, right? Is there anything else you want to say? Because it's already known that you're a demon, that you're gang stalking. You called the police when nothing happened, and now you're stalking with light. Is there anything else? Why you want to act like it's not happening? This is going to be used against you because it's not a mystery. Say that I'm making it up. Say it. Am I making it up, Leo? You want to go to your car so I can put your license plate on video too?
Don't do that. He doesn't have a car.
Oh, he has a car. I got it.
Okay.
He does have a car.
It's the gray Mustang right there.
The gray Mustang?
No, that's
You're
mine.
lying about that as well?
That's mine.
Okay, that's P.O.C. This is Securitas is going to be prosecuted as well, not just the fact that he's a psychopath. You like stalking with light, that's mentally ill behavior. You're a vagina monitor and you're a demon, and you're going to prison with the Ontario police that you've engaged in summoning for no reason when the Ontario Civic Center is open. So why are you flashing me with your light? Why are you harassing me?
Just do what you have
Why
to
are you harassing me with your flashlight? Because you're a demon? Huh? Are you a hostile homosexual? Huh? Is your mother a mutant as well? Is there anything else? Get triggered and start flashing light again, Satan.
We're getting ready to get out of here.
Yeah, that's P.O.C. You're going to prison, just so that you know that. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, have a good
Yeah, I
night.
got it. Thank you. I just wanted to get this coward on video. He's engaging this on a nightly basis, and it's Securitas. He's engaging what is running. He's a vagina monitor, and he's sitting there acting like it's not happening. And you already know that I'm speaking to the truth. He's engaged in that on video already. All right, this is the entity that's engaged. He's monitoring, and he's a psychopath that's engaged in what is cowardly conduct. And those are the demons, the homosexuals that are stalking in planes and helicopters. And it is operating in a demon-possessed gang stalking security guard. He is going to be committed. That's Leo. I've documented a license plate associated with him, and that's prosecuting what is Securitas. He's doing the same thing that all these demons are doing in my path. As I walk around, they're driving by, they're parking near me, they're stalking in the path while the entity's maintaining aerial surveillance. Leo's engaging in the same psychotic behavior. Leo's getting committed, and Leo's going to prison for that. License 9LGH667 is gang stalking as well. This is P.O.C. All right, I just want to go ahead and get that. He's engaged. He's obsessed with me. This is the fake moon moving as I move. So you're looking at his facial expressions. You're looking at what is the absolute truth regarding the allegations. He's a demon. He's mentally ill. He's going to be committed. That's psychopathic, antisocial. This is the entity that gang stalks you and then accuses you of being crazy and imagining. He's going to be committed with this. That's P.O.C. All right, that's the pattern of conduct. That's not headlights. That's exactly what Leo does. The light activity you saw in Upland, that's what Leo's molesting me with while he's targeting me, obsessed with me. This is a population of the mentally ill. Securitas, this employee, this demon of Leo's going to cost Securitas a lot of money. Okay, they are a domestic terrorist, by the way, that's outside of the United States as well. Now, Leo's mental illness is proven by his co-defendants that are stalking even in this video. The co-defendants in Upland, California, the impossible light activity, and you're looking at this blank idiot's face while I'm asking him to his face, what is your obsession with me? What is your problem? Why are you stalking me with light? Why are you aiming your flashlight on me every time you're leaving? He's obsessed. Just like are the demon possessed. He's going to be committed. I just want to be clear. This is the evidence where you are going to use it in order to diagnose, because they are going to be subject to involuntary commitments. These are demons that are stalking with light while they're stalking at an intersection. They're mentally ill. They're all going to be under martial law. This one in particular is going to be committed. That's P.O.C. It is currently 9:23 p.m. That's the handiwork of the U.S. military and the Ontario police. All right, those are demons that are each the branch of law enforcement, the branch of the military. They each have their problems under the law. This is documenting gang stalkers that are literally, he's being paid pennies. He's going to prison broke, and he's going to be committed, okay? And I'm talking about his mother because his mother's a demon as well, all right? He came out of a cursed portal, and he's living the life of the demon possessed, and then he's gang stalking, and he's so mentally ill and obsessed with me that he's engaging in conduct that's self-destructive. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:24 p.m. This is documentation of sexual assault and battery via engineer light pursuant to monitoring and furtherance of murder. In other words, P.O.C. Just so you know, Leo is being committed along with the U.S. military, who keep giving evidence supporting involuntary commitments of those that are engaging in treason, stalking at the Ovid Family Community Library as they're published on the venue of the internet. Okay, this is the entity. Leo is engaging what is molesting with impossible light because he's a demon. So are the frustrated homosexuals on whose behalf and in concert with whom he is stalking. This is what the entity was doing at the 10 freeway. They're being committed. So are the people of the state stalking with the possible light. And this is what the mentally ill do. They engage in more acts of terrorism. And this is literally going to be played in court to have the population committed, because this is a criminal act committed by the entity, meaning everybody stalking at the 10 freeway is going to be prosecuted with this video evidence while the pattern of conduct is underway. And Leo is being federally prosecuted. And as is published on X and the entity engages in this seconds later, Leo's being committed. This is the pattern of conduct. Leo is the demon that's looking stupid after he's engaging in the pattern of conduct and is not lying, did not state that I'm lying or making it up. I dared him to, because I will attach it to the video. You've already seen it. And he knows that he's going to prison, and so do these homosexuals. And that's getting to the suicidal who are engaging in this conduct when they know that their lives are over. They know they're going to prison. They know they're going to be homeless. They know that they are going to continuously unravel, where you see them literally out in the open consuming their feces because they are in fact mentally ill. And those demons are going to continue to drag them until they are living and exhibiting openly severe mental instability, like stalking me in a helicopter, but even more severe than that. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is the entity that's presenting evidence against co-conspirators like Leo. Okay, someone who's so obsessed with me, that obsession is shared by the homosexuals of the U.S. military who hate women. That's shared by Leo, who's obsessed with me, who's also hostile because of his obsession with me. That's shared by the homosexuals that are stalking me by helicopters. Okay, stalking me last night by helicopters flying over the top of my head, stalking me this morning by helicopters while I'm walking on San Antonio Avenue, and the entity is following me through the neighborhood, stalking me while I'm walking from Upland, California, flying over the top of my head by helicopter, and stalking me while I am at the Ovid Family Community Library, publishing information about their co-defendant, homosexual Leo, who's going to be committed, just like the U.S. military. And I'm going to repeat exactly what I said because that's what's happening. And they keep giving evidence confirming it. This is a confirmation. The homosexuals of the U.S. military are going to be involuntarily committed just like Leo is. P.O.C. It's currently 11:10 p.m. This is evidence of criminal surveillance of the evidence that is published on the internet pursuant to what is federal stalking. And the entity engages in what is ongoing terrifying acts in concert with the mentally ill, the people of the state that are being involuntarily committed as well, while the evidence is published on the internet. This is P.O.C.